Hi, and welcome to another episode of Relax, I Got This and our Agent to Agent series. Today, we are headed to Forsyth County, Georgia with Miss Donna Brewer. Stay tuned.
A real estate transaction is potentially the largest investment we make in our lives. Whether you're buying and selling your personal home or investing in real estate, you need the knowledge to make the right decisions. Get ready. Robin is a Texas realtor and has the experience to give you the information you need to make the right decisions. Welcome to Relax, I Got This with your host, Robin McCoy.
On this episode, we're talking with Donna Brewer. Donna has been in real estate for about 3 years. She was in insurance for about 8, but she has lived in Forsyth County, Georgia for well over 30 years. So she is living there, raised her kids there, and knows the area. And we're going to talk today about why you would want to live in Forsyth County, Georgia, which, by the way, is just north of Atlanta. So welcome to the show, Donna. And hi, Donna. Thanks for coming on the show with us.
I'm excited to be here.
This is great. So, when I was introducing Donna, Donna is a part of that mastermind group that I work with every morning on the phone, on Zoom, I should say, every morning. And the reason we do this, or I do this, is realtors always say, I know somebody in Atlanta. I know somebody in North Carolina. Well, I wanted to actually introduce people to these agents that actually are living and working there and that, I do know. So just to kind of spread the good word. So, let's just talk a little bit. Let's go all the way back. You've been in real estate for how many years? I'm looking. Since when?
Just 3.
Oh, just 3. I thought you'd been selling real estate for a long. You were in insurance for a long time.
Right. I'm kind of an accidental real estate agent.
And what does that mean?
It was not my plan.
Okay.
When I was 50, I retired. And at 58, I'm going through a divorce and have to figure out how to support myself.
Yeah.
And I didn't want a 9-to-5. I still wanted to go see my grandkids. So I called a friend that sold us our last house. And he hooked me up with my classes. And here I am.
And here you are. Okay, so 3 years in the business. Mm-hmm. Now tell me real quickly, what areas do you service? Because you've got Auburn, Alabama, and Atlanta, Georgia. So that must mean you are dual licensed.
Right. So I'm in North Georgia. So it's Forsyth County, which is about 40 miles north of Atlanta.
Okay.
And do pretty well all of North Georgia, except for over by Tennessee, North Carolina. That's a little too far. And then my son and his family moved to Auburn, Alabama. So to see my grandkids, I got my license there.
There you go.
So I do Auburn and the Opelika and Lake Martin area.
Okay. So what is that like being licensed in 2 states? Is that difficult? Is that just, helps your spread, I guess?
It helps my social media.
Yeah. Yeah.
But both states are so different.
Are they?
The contracts are different. It's a totally different price point. Forsyth County is like our median sales price is around $600,000.
Okay.
And the Auburn area is nowhere near that. It's about half of it. So it's a challenge, but I enjoy it. And I see my grandkids a lot. So it's okay.
Well, you know what? And that's, I think, regardless of what our job is or what we do for work, it's a life by design, right?
Exactly. I just finished Gold last week.
It is. And that's exactly what it is. It's just being able to live the life that we want so that we can serve the people we serve at our highest level. And I think that's great. Mm-hmm. So tell me, you live in Forsyth County, your kids live in Alabama. Tell me a little bit about both those markets. So let's start in Forsyth County. You said the median price range is around 600.
Yeah.
What kind of houses or what does the real estate look like there?
It's mainly single family homes. We do have more condos than we used to. That's building up a little bit, but we're mainly single family. We're getting a lot of apartments now that we didn't have before. We also have Lake Lanier, which is like 59,000 acre lake. So we have multi-million-dollar lake homes.
Sure.
And we're an hour from the mountains, so you can have both lives and live right here.
And so when people move to Forsyth County, It sounds like if they're getting more apartments and more condos and things like that, it sounds like you've got some growth going on. Is that so?
We've been growing since the 90s, and we went through a little lull, and now it's picking back up. We're once again one of the fastest growing counties in the nation.
Okay. See, and I'm running into that a lot, whether it's a county or a city. So many of these areas are growing so fast.
Yeah. And we have shopping now that within a 15-mile radius, we have Avalon, which is live, work, play with the upscale restaurants and shops. And just up the road, we have Halcyon, which is smaller scale, same thing. And right here in Cumming, we have the Collections, which is, they don't have housing near it, but it's the shops and restaurants. And then 15 minutes up the road, we have the outlet stores.
Right. So did you not have that before, those things that are a little newer and you had to go further away to go out to eat for a while?
When we moved here, my kids were in 7th and 9th grade, and they thought we moved them to Timbuktu.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was nothing here at the time, and we had spurts of growth, but we're back into a big spurt again.
So what do you think what draws people to that area? What kind of industry is it?
There's a lot of the work, and because we are so close to Atlanta, a lot of people commute and they move here for the schools.
Okay.
We have I think it's 3rd ranked in the state, and we're very high in the nation, and a lot of people come here for the schools.
And how far is that commute to Atlanta? I mean, I know Atlanta is like ginormous, so I guess it depends on where you're going, what side of Atlanta you're on.
It's 40 miles, but we don't measure in miles here. We measure in time.
Same as Dallas.
Yeah. So if you're, the middle of the day, it might take you 45 minutes. Okay. Morning, afternoon could be hour and a half.
Now, is that to downtown Atlanta?
That's to downtown.
Downtown?
And the airport's just south of that. So when you go to the airport, we typically plan leave about 3 hours before you're supposed to be there and hope you make it.
Yeah, that's Dallas is sprawling as well. I don't think it's got anything on Atlanta from what I'm understanding. I've never really spent any time in Atlanta, so but it's everything is growing so fast. We had last year, I think it was Dallas had netted out at 130,000 new people.
Oh wow.
And that's the size of a small city here. That's one of our suburbs.
Forsyth County has about 250,000 people right now.
And do you feel like the infrastructure is there for this growth?
They're working on it.
Yeah.
We have the county is being a lot more active now. We're getting new water lines from the lake brought in, and so they're working on it. But Lake Lanier is the water supply for Atlanta.
Okay.
So it's getting there. It's much better. There's sewer now. We didn't used to have sewer everywhere. Now we do. So it's much better. We have fiber to the home now, so a lot of people are able to stay home and work.
Okay. So it sounds like it was a kind of, well, you said your kids thought you'd moved them out to the middle of nowhere. So it sounds like it was previously pretty rural.
It was.
And so now it's just kind of being, overtaken, if you will.
In my opinion, we're bigger than suburban, but smaller than urban. So we're kind of somewhere in between there.
Okay. So, now you've been there a long time. So what keeps you there? I mean, it sounds like at one point you might have had the option to go anywhere you wanted to, and you stayed.
Well, before it was my ex-husband's job, but I have a daughter in Macon and a son in Auburn. So they kind of split me. I'm in the middle. And, which child do you choose to live with? So live with close to. So I live in the middle. And I mean, this has been home since 1993. So
yeah,
my friends, my church, my work, everything's here.
Everything's there. So tell me about some of the fun things to do in that area. So if I were, thinking of whether it's moving, out of Atlanta and trying to get a little bit out, or I'm coming from Nebraska or Dallas, why would I want to live? What's there for me? Hi, I'm Robin McCoy, a Texas realtor for over 15 years. As the adult child of a senior needing to make a living change, I know firsthand the stress that can be involved in guiding our seniors and their families through the challenging decisions surrounding senior living. From adapting your current home for aging in place to finding the right senior community, I provide comprehensive support tailored to your unique needs. By offering these specialized services, I aim to make the transition to senior living as smooth as possible, providing you and your family with peace of mind and confidence in every decision. For more information, go to robinmccoysenior.solutions.com and let me take some of the stress of senior moves away. Relax, I've got this. Whether it's moving, out of Atlanta and trying to get a little bit out, or I'm coming from Nebraska or Dallas, why would I want to live, what's there for me?
Well, having the lake, of course, we have camping, we have a lot of hiking.
Mm-hmm.
We're close to the mountains, so we have a lot of hiking there. There's a real sense of community, even as we're growing. So there's a lot of festivals and things that go on year round.
Okay.
One of the big things is we have all 4 seasons, but our winters are short.
Okay.
Our spring and falls are beautiful, and our summers are hot, humid, and great. So, that's
what's the snow factor? Do you get snow?
We get snow every few years,
Okay.
and typically, it'll snow one day and be gone the next day.
So it sounds like you're kind of on the same parallel as Dallas.
Yeah, but every now and then it'll smack us good, and we'll be out for a week.
Yeah, that sounds a lot like.
Yeah, we've had snowmageddon a few times.
Yeah, that's what we call it here too. You're in that little line across like North Texas and all the way across that hits you like that.
I know there's been some older couples that have moved here that have places in Florida for the winter, and they come here in the summer, which made it kind of nice.
So you said you work with a lot of seniors as well as kind of first time home buyers. So you've got coming and going, if you will.
Yeah. Somebody told me I work diapers to depend, so
however that works.
Yeah.
Well, and truth is the senior market is getting bigger and bigger, right? The baby boomers are starting to, and even the older Gen Xers are all starting to start looking at retirement and where do I want to be and what do I want to do.
Well, and even if they stay, they downsize, which is a first-time home buyer.
Yeah.
So I think that's how I ended up working with both so easily.
Right, because it's kind of the same. They're looking for the same things, affordability, and something that they can work with. Then, so how is that different than maybe if you're working in Alabama or in Auburn? What's that shift?
Well,
that
Auburn, of course, is college town.
Sure.
So right now it's dead. You go downtown, there's nobody there. But there's a lot of student housing and I've noticed, I've only been working there a year, but I've noticed this kind of extending out. They don't have to be right there on campus. And I've worked with several families that their kids are going there and they're buying a house for their kids and doing the house hacking.
Living on campus is expensive, and you can spend that money and you've now purchase a home, you put your kid in it, they get a couple of roommates that are paying it. It's a great investment. It
just makes sense.
Yeah.
So, and it's a small city. It's one of the friendliest places I've ever been, actually. And it's easy to get around. So when I have people coming in from out of state, they have an easy time going and looking, seeing what area they're interested in. And there's a lot of new subdivisions going in that are much higher price point.
Right.
And Opelika is right next door, and it's a totally different town. So it kind of keeps me on my toes since I don't live there, but I'm there every week.
Right.
Trying to keep up with everything that's going on.
Yeah. It's things are changing and growing so quickly. I think we're, no matter who I've spoken to and done, these episodes with, there's always seems to be a lot of growth.
Yeah.
In all these places, and a lot of new construction and a lot of just infrastructure that's coming in to accommodate the populations that are moving in.
The road construction is what gets me. Atlanta has been under construction for 30 years.
Yeah, so I think a lot of major cities are, right?
Yeah.
They make this joke that 35, Dallas and Austin is never, they say, they're still working on 35, so you're okay, honey. You don't need, it's okay. You don't need it.
Yeah, we have I-285, same thing. It's never been finished the whole time I've been here. So
well, by the time they get it done, then it's time to start over because the part that was done isn't working anymore.
Yep.
Well, tell me this. Tell me like what some of your favorite things about being a realtor are. Are they what you expected when you got your license 3 years ago?
No.
Or none at all?
Nothing. No. To me, it was like, I won't be in an office. I can set my own hours. I can help people along the way and still do my own thing.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't it. I thought I'd open up some doors. It's easy. It's the hardest thing I've ever done.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
It's a lot of hard work. I enjoy it because there's nothing like handing over the keys.
Right.
You know, I worked with someone that was moving into assisted living and knowing we took care of her. So there's no greater joy in work than that part of it. But the in-between is hard.
The in-between is hard. And I think, you know, it's important, you know, if you're a consumer and you're looking for someone to help you make this change, whatever, I mean, it's a big change no matter what part of the process you're in, first, middle, or end, right? Yeah. And there's a lot that goes on with that I think many don't fully understand. And I'm not here to say I work so hard and, you know, woe is me. But it is a great joy that you are the one that's able to assist them with achieving this dream.
Mm-hmm. Well, with their biggest asset they'll ever have, whether they're buying or selling, that's a lot of trust, and take that seriously, you know.
Well, and we as, you know, we're fiduciaries, right? We have to take it very seriously. And I think that is, you know, one of the challenges if you don't know somebody and somebody says, oh my gosh, my husband's moving, you know, his job's taking us to Forsyth County, Georgia. What, you know, and you don't know anybody there and you don't know what is what, you need to be able to make a connection with someone that you can trust, you know, and just opening up the internet and and throwing a dart at something can be scary.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm glad you're doing this, because I actually had what I called my Carolina tour last year. I have family in North and South Carolina, so I went around to different Keller Williams offices and introduced myself.
Sure.
Some little goodies. I've stayed in touch with them. Of course, saw everybody at family reunion. We connect on social media, just so they do know somebody in this area and they're not just picking a wild card.
Yeah, and it's important. And so as a consumer, if I've got somebody here in Dallas that says, Robin, we are having to move to name that city, I want to be able to say, you know what, and if you need some help, you know, I know Donna in Forsyth County, she is, you know, an active agent. Here's my conversation with her. Go listen to it and see if it's if you can relate to her, because as I always tell people, we're going to be in each other's back pocket.
Yeah.
From beginning until I hand over the keys, and then even after, I think, you know, and it's important that you trust the person that you're working with.
Exactly.
And somebody that's lived in an area for however many years that was. Eons, you know, they know the history, and, you know, it's important to have that person.
Right. I actually have somebody that I'm talking to moving from Dallas up to Dawsonville, which is about 15 minutes up the road. So and it's going to be a huge difference for them, but I think they're ready.
Yeah. Well, you know, and as many people as are moving here, I feel like people are going, this is getting really big.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I'm sure you probably see some of that. I was talking to somebody a few years ago who was living, he was going out to what it's called Decatur, which is a couple hours out of here. But I'm like, why are you going out there? He goes, I'm trying to outrun the growth. I thought I'd done it when I moved to where he was. And then Dallas has caught, and now he goes, I think I'll be dead by the time it gets out there. So I'm just trying to outrun the growth, because some people don't want to be.
Yeah. There's people here that are moving up to Dahlonega, which it's a sleepy little community right at the base of the mountains. North Georgia University's there. And they're trying to outpace it, and hopefully that's their last move.
Yeah. So there are areas out there, you know, like I said, that, you know, that are drawing people for different reasons. And sometimes it is peace and quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I think too, like you said, now you've got, you're getting fiber and, and all the good, strong, the good internet
Yeah.
that allow, since the pandemic and the way people work and live has changed.
Yeah.
There's that opportunity as well.
Yeah. When the pandemic started, we had, at my house, we had, I guess you call good internet.
Mm-hmm.
There's times it could be really slow.
Yeah.
And right before we sold about a year and a half ago, we got fiber to the home. And I was like, oh my gosh, now I understand when people
I get it.
Yeah. When they tell me only look in these places, now I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've got clients even here in Dallas that we're in a house, they like the house, and they've got to check to see what, and I don't know what it all is, right? I mean, I've got a couple that, he's a big gamer and he works in that gaming industry. So it's not just him on his Xbox, which is important enough for some people, but this was his livelihood in that industry. And so it had to have certain levels so that he could make sure.
Right. Yeah.
And that's now in Dallas. That's in the middle of Dallas. So I can imagine when you're out a little bit, how that can
now I get it.
Be a difference.
Yeah. So I can, if they move here and need high-speed internet, I got it. I know where to take them.
No matter what people are trying to tell you that
exactly.
I'm not going to get internet out there.
Yep. Because there's still some areas that don't have the high speed yet. I mean, we still have a lot of rural area around here.
Well, and tell me something. If I am moving from Dallas, and let's just say I'm kind of just in the middle. I'm a middle mover. I'm not a first time buyer, and I'm not retiring. Tell me why I should choose that area of Georgia, Forsyth County. What are the good things about me moving there?
Be the leader you know you can be. Build your professional network and access education that takes you where you want to go. We are women of all ages and backgrounds. You deserve national recognition and opportunities to build relationships with people you want to work and grow with. Hit the ground running with the Charisma chapter of the American Businesswomen's Association. Meetings each month from 6 to 8:30 p.m. on the fourth Tuesday in Farmers Branch, Texas, and online. Come with us. Experience ABWA for yourself. Go to charisma.abwa.org to learn more.
Tell me why I should choose that area of Georgia, Forsyth County. What are the good things about me moving there?
We have something for everyone with the proximity of where we are. Because like I say, we're about an hour from Atlanta. So you have all of the concerts and the culture and all of that. And as you start coming up north, we have the lake, and there's Lake Allatoona, which is about an hour west. I had to get my map straight, but about an hour west. And then Dawsonville, which is the home of Bill and Chase Elliott from NASCAR.
Okay.
Which is where I actually live now. It's 15 minutes away, and it's very rural. It's quickly building up, of course, but it's very rural, but has a lot of outdoor activities to offer. And then just 15 miles further up the road, you have Dahlonega, which was where the gold rush started.
Okay.
It's still kind of a sleepy little town. Hallmark movies get filmed there. North Georgia University's there. So there's a lot of hiking and outdoor. There's a lot of outdoor stuff all around us. And to a lot of people, that's important, which is why having the 4 seasons, but the winter being short is so important.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We have a lot of golf courses because they can play year round. So we have a ton of parks because of the lake and the county between the two of them. A lot of parks, and just everybody's outside a lot.
That's and those are things that I think people, especially if you're not going to go live in the city, you're not going to be in Atlanta, and you're not going to be in Dallas, or you're not going to be, in the city, that's really what you're looking for.
Right. You want to be able to get to it, but you want to be here doing what you want to do.
I always say I've got this idea that living out in the country, away from everything, would be so amazing. And then I think, man, I might get kind of lonely or a little bored. I need it close enough that if I want it, I can go get it.
Yeah.
But also, well, this sounds like it might be, some of those areas, this might be a good place, a time to get in now,
Perfect time right now.
to buy something and hang on to it for a while. And because if with that kind of growth and all of that, then it's just going to appreciate.
Oh, exactly. And we have, just in the last year, with my house, I bought it. It's a phase 2 of a neighborhood, but I was the second one in phase 2.
Mm-hmm.
And there's already been 3 price increases since I moved in a year ago, which only helps me.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
We have a lot of new construction. It's on every corner.
Corner. That's huge too, right? I think, one of the things that I used to look at, just even looking out my window at downtown Dallas, you can see what's going on by the number of cranes in the air.
Exactly.
And whenever all the cranes stop, then you go, okay, something is going on. And all of a sudden you see 3 or 4 more go up and they're moving. And that's in new construction. Neighborhoods are the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is when you drive through and you see, oh, they've scraped the ground.
Yeah, there they go again.
Yeah, the wall is going up. Then it means the houses are coming next. And that's a huge indication of what is going on. Just like when you go look for, where's the Walmart? Because Walmart and Starbucks, they do all the research about what what is the population growth going to look like.
And we have a lot of new construction. We have a lot of resales.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting more and more 55 plus communities being built, and those go fast.
Yeah.
If one goes on the market, it's gone.
So what are the age ranges of the homes? Or do you have a lot of really older homes that have been remodeled since you're getting a lot of new construction, but I'm sure that there's, what decades are those houses in?
They really started building up in the early 90s.
Oh, okay.
I moved here in 93. It was still a sleepy town, but we had some clear cutting going on. So those were starting.
So you wouldn't have maybe something 20s, 30s houses, 1920s, 30s, 40s.
Very few. If you go to downtown Cumming, which is the only city in Forsyth County, it's a very small population.
Okay.
There's still some older homes there, and some have been renovated, but like all of the farmhouses and stuff, they've pretty well either been raised or renovated.
Yeah, because if they're going to go in and develop they. Mm-hmm. Like you said, you sell off the farm.
They take it all. They take it all. Yeah, and we still have a lot of farmland. Don't get me wrong, not near what we used to, but we still have some farmland. There's still cows out there. We'll have the occasional bear that comes through from the mountains.
Well, I get coyotes and bobcats.
We have coyotes too. Yeah.
I don't get bears, but
I have a bear in my neighborhood right now, and we just put everything up at night.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? We kind of move into their. I have this
exactly
into their house first.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's
it is. It's a thing, right?
Yeah, it is.
But if you want nature, that's part of it.
That's it. That's it.
Well, as we wrap up, is there anything that you want to make sure you share about your market area, what you like most, anything we didn't touch on that you want to make sure people know about you and your business?
Well, they can find me on social media.
Okay.
If you go to Instagram and TikTok, it's Move Me to Atlanta or Move Me to Auburn, depending on which state you want to go to. And I'm on Facebook. It's just Donna Brewer Realtor. I'm having trouble changing my name there, but so just go to Move Me Atlanta. If you can't make it here, but you're thinking about it, I'll go ahead and do some videos for you.
Okay.
Just kind of give you kind of an overview of what to expect if you kind of fill me in a little bit. I've done that for several people. And really, you have to come see it to appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's just,
I've talked to, Masha, and she's in Chapel Hill, and, Byron Mims, who's in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Talking to them, I never even considered some of that area of the United States, and it all sounds so charming.
Yeah. And that's the way we are. Like I say, we're not a bedroom community anymore, but we still have a lot of charm, a lot of community. It's a great place to live. That's why I'm still here. I could have moved to Macon, Georgia, or Auburn, Alabama, and I'm still here.
And you're still there. So there you have it.
Yeah. This is my final stop.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with me. We will have all of Donna's information, of course, in the show notes so that you can reach out to her if you have any, any whims of, like she said, just even thinking about the area, any questions that she can answer. She's obviously more than welcome or more than happy to do those things for you. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on.
You made it easy on me. Thank you.
I try. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Relax, I Got This, part of our Agent to Agent series where we went out to Forsyth County, Georgia. That's hard for me to get my mouth around with Miss Donna Brewer. And like I said, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us for Relax, I Got This with Texas Realtor Robin McCoy. Check out all the show notes for contact information on Robin and her guests and to access your free buyer and seller guides. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a conversation. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Relax, I Got This with Robin McCoy.